Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer. Welcome back to MotoGP 18 and welcome to Jerez, Spain. Let me make sure I got my right controls here. A. No. Let's try this. There we go. Learning. I'm learning. I'm learning. So we're at Jerez, Spain. You say Jerez? You say Jerez. You say Jerez. And it's funny because this was the first track that I did in the Red Bull Rookies when I first got this game. And this is the track that I was like, oh, this game is too hard, man. This isn't even fun. And, you know, then I progressed, whatever. I haven't been on this track in a while, and I realized I kind of have issues with this track. Like, this is not my best track. So, why does that look like we're going too fast? It always looks like that. No, that's about right. So out front now, I started on the pole. Let me back up. I did the development programs and started on the pole, and everything was going great. And this is Martin right behind us, Jorge Martin. I want to say, we'll check on the end because there's so many names in here, but I want to say that's Jorge Martin, but then there's also a Jorge Martinez, and I'm wondering if it isn't just the way the game like abbreviates the name. So we'll check on the end, but if it's a longer name, if it is Jorge Martinez, etc., it's a hyphenated name. We'll figure that out. But he's out in front now, and I race this fool. Normally when I start the video, I start in the menu that shows how we did. I'm not going to do that because this is exciting, man. This is like actually exciting racing, which I'm super happy about. So back to Jerez. I didn't realize that this track is sort of, I struggle with this track. Clearly I struggle with this track because I really felt like I was not, as much progress as I've been making, both with my riding as a gamer and developing my character as a rider, and then also building the bike up with the development points. I really felt like I was making some progress, and then I get back on this track and I'm just like a noob all over again. Really struggling. I had a blast though. So I am chasing this guy, and it still looks like it's going too fast, doesn't it? God, this is bugging me now. What if I do this? Is that better? Or is that slow now? No, I think that's right. Is it? I don't know, man. No. That's right. Okay, it was right the first time. It just looks weird. And the lack of labels on the controls is a little... Anyway, so me and allegedly Jorge Martin are just going at it here. And what's funny is, like, I know this in all racing sims. I actually do better when I have somebody in front of me. And I know I'm not the only person that feels that way, because I've read plenty online. People are like, yeah, man, it helps me see the line so much easier. It helps me see braking points so much easier. I love it when somebody's in front of me. Except then, you're not in first. So old Jorge Martin up there is setting the pace for me, and we're doing great. And he's a bit of a rabbit. He's giving me something to chase. It's awesome. And eventually I do start to settle in, get my composure back, and we're doing okay. But you remember last race, I was asking you, I wonder what the tolerances are for bumping. Because I bump the hell out of people. And I don't want to. I don't mean to. It's not my style. I prefer, as much as possible, clean racing. So I don't want to bump anybody. And I particularly don't want to dive bomb. And I don't want to use people as mobile, portable guardrails. I want to race for real. I want the whole simulation experience. And I do bump this fool a couple times. That's foreshadowing. So I'm also... And I don't know if this was always happening and I'm just noticing it, but I'm seeing the front wheel lift more. I'm seeing more, like right there. It's way too hard, and I don't want that. But I'm seeing more like controlled two-wheel drift. I'm seeing the front wheel come up more. And I don't know if that's the bike getting more powerful or my rider, like as my rider is leveling up, I don't know if it adds those little, not just adds the animation, but I don't know if it adds the ability to do something like a controlled two-wheel drift. You know, like it, you see what I'm saying? As your character develops better bike handling skills, it adds the ability to recover from something like that you didn't have before. Because I know I couldn't do these things when I was in the Red Bull Rookies, and it's more than just me getting used to the game. It is, it's my character leveling up, and it's the bike too. So that is Kane behind in the, like the teal blue, the light blue. Yeah, that's Kane right there. He's one of my big championship rivals, and then behind him is, I want to say, Bezecchi. So it's like the four riders that are at or near the top of the championship points right now are first, second, third, and fourth. And then there's the train. So, yeah, I mean, I know I'm handling the bike better, but I still have a ways to go. I really struggle with apexing and maintaining the line, efficiency, you know, coming up out of a lean at just the right point so I don't have to correct. You know, they're just those little tenths of a second and hundredths of a second. They all add up. I do have absolute monster brakes on this bike, and I'm starting to wonder now, because I think I'm doing well enough in this series. I'm starting to wonder if I should keep my bike development points so that when I get to Moto 2, I have like 50,000 bike development points, and I can immediately, even before race 1, I can immediately start to tune the bike. You know, but I don't know if they carry over from league to league, like series to series. So it could be, you see what I'm saying? I bank 50,000 points between now and the end of the season. I go to Moto 2, and when I get to Moto 2, they're all gone, and I can't go back to Moto 3 to use them. So then they're just wasted. And I suppose I could look that up. That's the sort of thing you could find out on the internet, but I don't know. We'll see. I got a few weeks to go till the series is over. And you know what I love about this kind of racing, what we're doing right here, is I'm chasing Martin and or Martinez so hard, and I've got Kane right behind me. And we're all just turning laps at this point. But I know, and this is true in any type of racing, I know that when P1 and I start to tussle, third and fourth are going to catch us up. It always works out that way because you go just that little bit slower. Even when you're passing somebody, right? Even though you're theoretically going faster than the person that was in front of you, you both still somehow lose a little time. It's one of those like truisms of racing or something. I don't know. But, yeah. Oh, right there. Just that little bit of drift. Oh, it feels so good. I'm liking this game more and more. Still a little irritated about the graphics. I feel like the bikes render beautifully, but the world is not the greatest. In fact, let's go. I always forget which one it is. I don't want to hit the wrong one and reset. Is it? Camera is this one. Hope I don't reset. Yep. Got it right. Let's go. Sorry to scroll through these. Let's go here for a while. And I don't know if he's going to come up out of the bubble or stay tucked. Because I know this camera gets a little bit funny. It doesn't move the way it does when you're on the bike. Yeah, he's staying down in there. But still, this is a cool camera, cool view. We'll stick with this one for a little while. I'm really, like here, I think the game looks great. I think it looks fantastic. But when we go to the TV coverage, oh, it's exciting. When we go to the TV coverage, I think it looks like 2000. You know, I think the graphics look terrible in the TV coverage, and I don't know why, because I think they're pretty good here. A little wide, little wide, little wide. So I don't know. I don't know what developers, of course, they're working with limitations of code and hardware and software and everything else. But basically I want everything to look like Project Cars 2. That's my goal. Zoom with those brakes. And that's the other thing. I do catch myself doing more like legitimate racing moves, which sounds kind of funny because it's a racing sim. Like, isn't that all you do? A lot of what I do is like drag race passes on a straight, you know, where you just bang the throttle wide open and get somebody on brute force. But there's not really any skill involved in that. It's just being faster than somebody in a straight line. But every now and then, like we just did back there, you know, late braking, tuck down inside, and get an actual real life, like, motorsport pass. Feels really good. And I'm enjoying learning this game, and I'm enjoying learning it from scratch. I never played really a true motorcycle racing sim before, so this is definitely a learning curve for me, but I'm really, really liking it. And I'm glad I got it when it first came out, because I've got a full year to enjoy it before the next one comes out. Oh, passing on the outside. Cheeky. Very cheeky. But let's get out here, because this is going to be a thing here. Oh, shit. Oh. But he's up. He's okay. And now we're in fourth, and there goes Bezecchi. So let's get back to... Let's go here for a while. Now we're in P5. Now, see, I don't get this. Like, now they're not going down into their tuck. The rider's not going into their tuck. Maybe it's wherever the camera is when you go to this view, that's what it sticks with. I don't know. Fender? Go fender cam? Jesus, no. No, we don't want to do that. Let's do this for a while. So we got P4 back. But that's not good enough. And I wasn't pissed when I crashed. It happens, you know, and like I was saying, I was sort of testing the limits of how much tolerance there is for bumping, and apparently there's that much, you know. And I knew, back to P5, can't see anything back here, man. There we go. And I knew, I'll leave the camera here for the rest of the video, by the way. Stop bouncing around on you. I knew there was a limit, and I knew part of it was me pushing the limit, and part of it was me just being kind of sloppy and not having as much control over the bike as I wanted. So I knew that was sort of inevitable, and when it happened, it's like, yeah, okay, well, we were sort of due. Right, so this is Bezecchi now. P3. Sorry, I'm like getting all engrossed watching my own race. Like, I'm getting all into it. Like, go man, go! You gotta pass that fool. Now this seems almost like an unfair advantage, because look at the braking, and my brakes are now like stage 1 on the upgrade chart. And there's 2 phases of brake. There's aggression and modularity, and there's four stages of each of those 2 components or phases or whatever you want to call them, and we're stage 1 on both of them. And that is just unbelievable to me that I have that my brakes are that much better when they're stage 1 Now, I know in F1 2017 by Codemasters, there is an R&D tree. It's a very elaborate R&D tree. But you can also see, got that apex a little bit. You can also see where the other teams are. You can't see their entire R&D tree, but you can at least see like the broad areas where they're leveling up, right? Now in this game, I don't know whether we're all leveling up our riders and our motorcycles, or whether only I am. And logic would say that we all are, and that as my bike is getting faster and easier to control, everybody else's is too, and that's part of the challenge, is to grow your rider, grow your character, and grow your whip in a way that you continue to outpace the field, right? But it doesn't make sense to me that the field would just stay static, you know, they would never improve, because then it's like a feedback loop. You know, the more races you win, the more you can improve yourself and your bike. The more races you win, right? And I know you can jack the AI. This AI is it's fairly low. It's not the lowest. It's not total potato AI, but it's turned down a little bit. And I keep saying, you know, it's time to turn it up. I keep getting polls. It's really time to turn it up. But I don't know if it is or not, because I feel like, I mean, I could maybe turn it up a little bit, but I feel like this is really, to me, this is good, tight racing. You know, I'm just gradually reeling these fools in, mostly on braking, you know, and I feel like I make up, they're what, 3 seconds in front of me? I feel like I make up maybe 1.5 seconds per lap on them just on braking, but then I give back half a second fighting my way through these turns. You know what I mean? So I am reeling them in, but I'm reeling them in really just on pure braking. I'm not making up any time on them in the turns. And that's, you know, every rider has strengths. There are some riders that are better at braking. There are some riders that are better at transitions. There are riders that are better at early acceleration from the apex or whatever. And that's in all motorsports, not just in racing, but, you know, different people have strengths and weaknesses. So maybe my strength is just braking. I don't know. But it seems like the only way I'm making up time is the unfair advantage that braking, I don't know. I don't want to call it a glitch, but you know what I mean? It's like my braking is too good. So what I was saying earlier about, you know, I don't know if I'm the only one improving, but like my braking is so good right now, and maybe the AI, maybe they start to jack their braking too as they improve their bikes. I don't know, but I feel like that's the only way I'm making up time is with these, and they're not even really, it's not me late braking so much as it is them braking early. Okay, so that's Canet in P2, and that's either Martin or Martinez in P1. And we've got like 2 laps to go, 3 laps to go. Oh. And see that to me, I have the grass and dirt assist turned off. There's a feature in this game where you can make it the bike has more control. You have more control over the bike when you're off the track. But I have that turned off. And I still feel like that's some awfully grippy grass. Like I can't imagine that in real life, if you went that far off track at that speed, that you would just be able to bring it back on, you know, and now you got filthy tires and they're, you know, it's hot, wet rubber, sticky rubber with grass and dirt embedded in it now, and you just hop back on the track and continue as though nothing happened. That doesn't seem very realistic to me, even with that feature turned off. So I got Canet just for a second, but then he got me right back. But then I get him again. Oh, this is so exciting. This is what I wanted. Like, the first race that I did in the Red Bull Rookies, when I finished like P26, 10 seconds off P25, was like, that's no fun. You know, this is what I want right here. I want to actually know that the numbers that I'm putting up are close enough to the numbers that the AI are putting up that it actually means something, that I was able to do it. So being able to get a pass like that, just feels so good. Even though the rest of the lap is kind of sloppy, right? P1, back to P1, but Martin and/or Martinez says he's not having it. No, sir. And I'm so leery of like bumping again and getting crashed out this late in the race. I know I would be screwed if I came off. Oh, wide, and there goes Kane. But I got those brakes. Oh. And this is where my lack of consistency really punishes me, because I get worried about the fact that I'm not consistent, so I either focus too much on finishing well, which makes me like grip up and ride badly, or I get so cautious about losing positions this close to the end of the race that I back way off and go too conservative. It's the end of the race. Right, so we go, is it here? Yeah, we go here. Okay, so it is Jorge Martin and then Kane. Now, just for my own curiosity, I'm going to scroll down here to find this other Jorge, because I know I saw one. No, I didn't. Must be crazy. Okay, cool. So then we proceed. We hit A, and let's see where I am in the points now. Still in third. Down by 20. That's not bad. That's not bad. I'll take that. And this is round 4, I think. Round 3, round 4. Yeah, we could have a decent season this year. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out The Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of MotoGP from Jerez, Spain. We'll see you next time. Take care now.